There's a saying that says don't let perfection get in the way of progress. That's 100% true. Welcome to Gentle Frog's Bookkeeping Lily Pad, your cozy corner of the podcasting world, where numbers tell a story and bookkeeping blossoms into an adventure. My name is Rachel Barnett, and I'm glad you're here. This podcast is for bookkeepers who enjoy authentic, unfiltered, and always encouraging friend to talk shop with. We will be discussing what it's like to own and operate a small bookkeeping business. I had a situation recently where I thought I was going to do a thing and I was totally certain about what I was going to do and I was very excited about what I was doing, and then it didn't work. I've gone back to the drawing board and basically went back to where I started, and that's fine and I'm okay with it, and I wanted to talk to you about my experience. I mentioned on this podcast that I create courses. I like creating courses. I like creating content. I like showing people how to do stuff. And I love the aha moment. That moment where you can see the connection in someone's brain that they finally understand the thing that's been eluding them. So I'm creating these courses. I'm having a good time with it. And I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be great if I could combine the courses with the training? Like, that'd be perfect. I could offer people access to my courses. I could perhaps make it a subscription. So for one amount of dollars, you get access to all the courses. But to make it even better, you'd also get a coupon code. So you could book a 1-hour call with me to go over the specific things that you're stuck on and need help with. In my brain, this was a great idea. It would allow me the flexibility to provide a bunch of content to people. I wouldn't have to worry about whether or not a course module was long or short, if it was worth X dollars or Y dollars. I would be able to provide the value add and the differentiator that I also provide training. So I did this, and I did this for a couple months, and I saw my sales drop. And I said, well, that's disappointing. My training calls have gone up. Right now, my training calls are booked 4 to 6 weeks out. And I know a large part of that is the fact that it's tax season. People who were busy and kind of didn't really get around to their bookkeeping, they're now in a panic, needing help. I've got people booking my regular calls and my emergency calls, and I'm very happy about that. But I'm sad to see that the courses weren't selling as well. I started interacting with small business owners and people who work in small businesses, people who have jobs where they need to learn QuickBooks so they can be better at their job, and they know they have to pay for it themselves. These people have reached out to me and said, oh, do you have anything that's kind of small and just right-sized for my need? And of course, I'm like, well, no, I've got this thing, which is really great for a lot of people, but it's only really great in my brain. It turns out that I was wrong. This isn't a thing that the market wants or needs or is a good fit for people, or maybe it's not a good fit for my audience. Whatever the case, it boils down to I was wrong. The reason that I know or believe that I'm wrong is that I didn't sell very many subscriptions. I was definitely selling more when the courses were sold as a lifetime. You just bought the particular course you needed. You didn't buy any of the other courses that you didn't need. You paid one fee and you just had the course. Last weekend, I put together a Google form, essentially a survey. The top of the form, I described, hey, I'm just doing market research on pricing on courses. I then went on to briefly describe each of the courses. Basics of QuickBooks. This is the course, yada, yada, yada. At the bottom, I said, I'm really looking for which pricing model appeals to you the most. So the first pricing model was the one I had with the subscription, a bundled training lesson. The second option was you could have a subscription with training, a cheaper subscription without training. And then there would be a solo price for just the basics, the basics of QuickBooks course. The third option, I said, okay, what if I didn't have any subscription? What if there was no training bundled at all? And the only thing you could buy was individual courses. Or if you wanted, you could buy a bundle of every single course, pay one price, get access to the courses I have now, plus the courses I'll make in the future. Putting together the survey felt fine. Thinking about asking people that I didn't know for their opinion felt fine. Putting out the survey into the public felt okay. I made it about a day before I got extremely uncomfortable and felt way too vulnerable. I committed to myself that I would keep the survey out there until I got 25 responses or until it'd been 48 hours, and that's all I was willing to commit to. Anything beyond that was so far past my comfort zone that it just wasn't going to happen. Just under 48 hours, I got 26 responses. I'm so grateful because I don't think I could have made it any longer. You know that jittery feeling that you felt before your first date with your current person, or the jittery feeling you felt before you're about to take a big test? Some version of that is how I felt. I felt exposed and uncomfortable, but also aware of the fact that I can't live in my head and assume that everybody else lives in my head with me. What seemed like a good idea to me wasn't a good idea to others. That's fine. When the surveys came back, 70% of people said that they would prefer the last option. The options that said, I can pick and choose the courses I want to buy. I will pay for them individually at a flat rate, or I will buy the bundle. What the survey results told me was that people didn't want to have a subscription. What I was thinking of was that people would subscribe for 2, maybe 3 months. They would go through all the courses, all of my content, make notes, download the handouts, whatever they need, and then turn it off. This would give the ability to binge the content and then not have to pay for it. Well, as it turns out, people, myself included, prefer to binge Netflix over educational material. That's totally fine. As I'm recording this, Jess and I are going through and just revamping the courses page on the website and the courses page in Kajabi, and we're putting it back to the way that it was. I'm so incredibly grateful that Jess is flexible and willing to change things as I find that we need to change and adapt and adjust. By the time this podcast goes out, we will have updated everything on the website, and the subscription model will just be a distant memory. The reason that I'm recording this and talking about it is because I want to, one, let you guys know, hey, look, things happen. People don't always do the right thing, pick the right thing, market the right thing. There is absolutely some sort of vision out there that when you start your business or you put out your offer, you've really got to think it through, and you've got to put out the just right offer. You've got to communicate the best that you can say. You've got to put out the perfect website. It's not true. There's a saying that says, don't let perfection get in the way of progress. That's 100% true. I am absolutely going to set aside perfection in favor of progress. I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to try the thing. I'm going to put something out there. If it works and it's successful, I'll be thrilled. If it doesn't, I'm going to take a step back and figure out, what do I need to do? What I would have really preferred would be to survey my close friends and ask them, what do they think I should do? Now, you know as well as I do that asking your close friends what you should do isn't the same as taking a random sample, an anonymous random sample from your ideal client and asking them, what do they want from you? Somebody who has less of a wiggly stomach might have been comfortable getting a larger sample. I don't. I'd rather get a small sample, put together what I think is a good fit, put it out into the world and see what happens. The worst case, people don't like the new model. I enjoy creating course content. I'm going to keep doing it whether or not people buy it from me. This to me feels a lot like making the YouTube videos that I make. I make a bunch of YouTube videos. I put them out into the wild. Nobody pays me to make them. In fact, I pay for the privilege of making them because you don't want to see my unedited videos. Carlos has to pull out a lot of mistakes. A lot of times where I'm grumbling and complaining and asking QuickBooks, why is it doing the weird thing that it's doing? And telling QuickBooks that I don't need the 1,000 million pop-ups that it's presenting on my screen. Could I have done the survey before making the change? Yes. Did I do the survey? No. Am I glad that I tried and made the change? Absolutely. I want to tell you one quick story before I let you go. I was chatting with one of my friends the other day. She had said, I just watched a YouTube video that you might like. It was a gal I'd never heard of. The gal's name is Vanessa Lau. Vanessa is a person who posts on YouTube. She has 700,000 subscribers, about 700,000 subscribers more than I do. She apparently posts about marketing on Instagram and YouTube and other similar things. The video my friend sent me, the title of it is, Before You Stop Posting on Instagram or YouTube, You Need to Watch This. The content of the video was interesting if you're at all curious about posting and not posting. I'll link it in the show notes. But what I liked about watching it was just this person took a break from creating content. She took a break for a year and she's coming back to it now. There are going to be times that we're going to be working on something like I do, creating content, courses, videos, podcasts, whatever. And for whatever reason, we need to take a break. This is going to happen to all of us. life is going to get in the way and you can't keep doing all the things you were doing. She describes her insights, and it really boils down to she's really happy with the stuff that she did on YouTube. YouTube kept performing and her subscriber count kept growing. Her Instagram, her subscriber count went down, and it was just kind of weird. She doesn't know yet what the effects of this change will be. So I'll probably, because I'm nosy, keep an eye on things and subscribe to her channel, giving her yet one more subscriber, but just see what she's learned from it later. What I liked about it was Vanessa described not why she took a break, but just a matter of fact, I took a break, I'm coming back to it, and what her experience was like coming back. What changed as far as her metrics were concerned, and also what changed within her. She decided she wasn't going to keep track of all of the metrics she'd been tracking before. She decided she was going to keep track of the things she could control. She was going to lean into following the 12-week year. Essentially, just like it sounds, you take a year, break it into 12-week chunks, have small manageable goals, and really work on the things you can control. So some of her original goals were stuff like, I want to have X number of subscribers. You can't control that. She revised her goals, and she's now going to keep track of different things, which ideally will lead to additional subscribers and ad revenue and all the things that she's looking to do. I like hearing from someone that says, my old goals weren't working for me. This is how I'm going to identify my new goals, and then here's what they are. Her actual goals don't so much apply to me, but just hearing someone else's thought process, that was really helpful. That I'm going to go back and revisit. As my friend and I were talking, we started talking about the 4 pillars that this gal references. The first being feel good, care for your health so you have the energy to succeed, set boundaries, prioritize wellness, feel your best. The second pillar is have fun, embrace authenticity, and gain the confidence to share your passions fearlessly. Build a tribe of people who are like you for you. That's a lot of words, but really what I like about this is a really good reminder to myself and frankly to anybody else. Embrace who you are. Like it's too often that I talk to people and they say, oh, well, when I get faced with this one question, I don't know how to answer it because I don't feel like I have the perfect answer. And the perfect answer is to embrace who you are. If you're a new bookkeeper who has limited experience, embrace that. Embrace what you did before and embrace why you're a bookkeeper now. The third pillar is do less. Simplify your approach to business, social media, and content creation. Find better ways to achieve your goals with less work. That sounds lovely. What I'm taking from this is not one of those magical work less, be on the beach, make a ton of money. I'm viewing it more as don't bite off more than you can chew. Don't say yes to every single thing. Identify the things that you're most excited to do and the things that bring you the most returns or rewards. If I didn't have Jess managing my social media, you would never see me on Instagram or Pinterest because she doesn't and she doesn't mind doing it. Fantastic. My personal do less is to not do those things. The last pillar, and I like this a lot, it says earn more, but more is crossed out, and then it says enough. So effectively, it says earn enough. Discover how to make enough income to live the life you want. This is 100% where I'm at. I talk about having a team, and I give credit to the people that work with us, but I really want you to understand that at its core, Gentle Frog is a very small business. There is myself working full-time. There's Megan, our bookkeeper. She works about 30 hours a week. There's Jess, our virtual assistant, but really our super glue. She's probably 15 to 20 hours a week. It's really whatever she feels like working on. She just decides and does the stuff. And then it's other people who work as needed, helping create and edit the things. If I had to edit the podcast or if I had to edit my YouTube videos, that would not fall under have fun and it wouldn't fall under do less. I wouldn't do them. So my business is designed so that I can make a decent living, probably about the same as I'd make at a regular job, so that Megan can make a good living, and so that Jess can make whatever living she wants. She has the ability to work as many or as few hours as she wants. I want my editors to bill me whatever makes them happy to edit my content. I'm not looking for any one of us to make massive amounts of money to retire tomorrow. I'm looking for every last one of us to feel good, have fun, do less, and to earn enough. What I told my friend is earn enough is exactly where I want to be. I want to earn enough to pay Jess and Megan well, while the three of us do the other 3 things. Feel good, have fun, and do less. The takeaways that I want you to have is that I tried a thing and it didn't work. So I'm pivoting and changing the thing. The second is that my example of trying a thing and pivoting and changing and making it work for me, it's my own example on a very small scale. A friend of mine knows that I'm doing this, reaches out to me and says, hey, there's a person with 700,000 followers that also is doing exactly the same thing, but different. She is identifying what's working for her, identifying what's not working for her and trying a new thing, and then publicly talking about it so that people know, like, hey, here's my experience. Here's something I'm working on. I don't know yet if I'm happy that I did or didn't do it, but I don't want anybody to feel alone as you're out there trying the thing and realizing the thing you didn't work, and so you need to pivot and try a new thing. So the world is all about trying things, and I'm happy to try things. Perhaps my experiences will help somebody else as they're trying and learning and doing additional things. If you want to get in touch with me, you're more than welcome to email me, rachel@gentlefrog.com, or hop over to the Facebook group, Gentle Frogs Bookkeeping Lily Pad. Thanks and have a terrific week.